Welcome back. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres says climate change is undeniable and unstoppable, and it's absolutely essential the world fights the problem together. This comes as the U.S. President Donald Trump considers pulling out of the Paris climate deal. Mr. Trump refused to endorse the landmark climate change accord at a summit of the G7 group on Saturday, saying he needs more time to make a decision.
Allow me to be blunt. The world is in a mess. Countries and communities everywhere are facing pressures that are being exacerbated by megatrends like population growth, rapid and many times chaotic urbanization, food insecurity, water scarcity, massive movements of population, and the list can go on and on. But one overriding megatrend is far and away at the top of that list: climate change. Climate change is a direct threat in itself, but a multiplier of many other threats, from poverty to displacement to conflict. And the effects of climate change are already being felt around the world, and they are dangerous and they are accelerating. And so my argument today is that it is absolutely essential that the world implements the Paris Agreement and that we fulfill that duty with increased ambition. And the reason is threefold. Climate change is undeniable, climate action is unstoppable, and climate solutions provide opportunities that are unmatchable. If any government doubts the global will and need for these accords, that is reason for all others to unite even stronger and stay the course. The real danger is not the threat to one's economy that comes from acting. It is instead the risk to one's economy by failing to act. And the message is simple. The sustainability train has left the station. Get on board or get left behind.
Well, Mr. Guterres would be happy to know that there are small local efforts to battle climate change. For example, a recycling project in Senegal is transforming old tires and waste into functional structures for schools and public places. 3,000 Ecomen has completed over 50 projects, building benches in schoolyards and other common areas. More than 16,000 tires and 17,000 tons of waste have been recycled and transformed for the organization's projects in Senegal alone.
At a school in Keur Moussa, 40 kilometers from Senegal's capital, Dakar, pupils are hard at work on a recycling project, making benches out of old tires and rubbish. The students first fill the tires with non-biodegradable waste and some dirt to form a strong, solid base.
At first, there were no garbage bins in the school, but since we started to build those recycled benches, the school started to bring some bins. What we see as rubbish, for example, when someone buys a drink, the drinker threw away the bottle. It's not like that now. What we throw away is more valuable. So I can say that now the students understand that waste goes here and not there, so as to make something useful out of it.
Senegal produces about 2 million tons of waste a year. Authorities have launched several initiatives to fight against pollution, including a ban on plastic bags, but these have not been successful. This initiative is aimed at teaching students about waste management and recycling.
Yes, it's important that the school is clean because people come here and see a clean school, and that is good. Only clean school is good, because anybody can come here to visit, to look, and so school should be clean.
Once the tires are filled with waste and sand, they are wrapped with a wire mesh and covered in a mix of cement and water, then left to dry.
We don't need electricity or to use energy-consuming materials. We are on the ground. When we are on the ground, there are tires, rubbish, everything is free, and we build benches out of that.
Before launching the various training workshops, Ecomen first tested the project's viability at Soul's house. He made a variety of functional pieces in his courtyard, including tables and chairs. Once a bare space, it now has 400 colorful tables and benches, as well as dozens of flower pots made out of 900 recycled car tires and 60 tons of waste. The organization has also undertaken similar projects in Tunisia, Morocco and Ethiopia, where it is also conducting training.
Well, that's a good one. Here's another. Delivery Addis, Ethiopia's first food delivery service, is helping restaurants grow their businesses and also boost the country's profile among Africa's economic hubs like Nigeria, South Africa and Kenya, where online solutions are already spurring economic activity. The company was started by a young Ethiopian IT professional back from the United States with a plan to grow e-commerce in the country.
A rider rushes into the opium restaurant in Ethiopia's capital to pick up an order for a client. He works for Delivery Addis, Ethiopia's first order-in food service. Addis Ababa is a teeming city of more than 4 million and has a varied selection of eateries offering local and international cuisine. But traffic congestion can keep commuters on the road for hours, and dashing out to get something to eat is not always a quick option.
We started about 2 years ago. And at the time, there were no other delivery services available in Ethiopia, so nothing like this existed. And I would work fairly late at night on a consulting project I was part of. And I realized, I don't want to cook, I don't have time to cook. Why can't I just have that food come to me instead? It was a service I've used all the time in the States when I was studying. I would always order food. And I felt that it was time for Addis to have something similar.
The typical delivery time for meals is under 1 hour at a minimum cost of about $3 depending on the distance.
For people who are a bit far from the center of the city, can get difficult for you to get anything that you need on time, and the traffic will take time, so you'll just lose your efficiency by just going back and forth. So this type of services are very important especially for businesses who are really focused on making sure that time is important and all those.
Investment in e-commerce has become growing in countries like Nigeria, South Africa and Kenya. Analysts say the sector is vital in creating jobs and driving innovation. But economists warn the state's tight grip and a list of restrictions on where private business and foreigners can invest in Ethiopia risks stifling tech and other startups.
That's Network Africa. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Joke Rogers.